All right, welcome in. Sarah Fraser show, and on Mondays, we do something called recapping the latest Sister Wives episode from the night before. Real simple, okay? It ain't real simple, all right? You're like, ooh, what happens on Monday? Okay, it's a Sister Wives recap. And by the way, we are getting Sister Wives into this spring of 2025, all right? So we do have a break coming up. TLC is going to be taking a break in February. Normally, they do a mid-season break with Sister Wives that would have happened right before Christmas and around that time. But season 19 of this show has a record number of episodes, 26. We are getting 26 episodes. That's how popular this show is. So we're going to have a February break coming up, and then we're going to be back at it in the spring. And I believe that means then we'll have a season 20 coming in August, late August, beginning of September, if you can believe it. So they are taking advantage of the huge ratings that Sister Wives continues to have, even if you find it boring like I do a lot of the time. However, last night, behold, I come like a thief, episode 19. I'm fascinated by Coyote Pass. I want to know the future of Coyote Pass. And the land is beautiful there in Flagstaff, Arizona. Coyote Pass is gorgeous. I understand the lore. Not so much of the cowship pond, but I get it. They love going out there and painting picnic tables and skipping rocks. Okay. I don't know. They bring a kickball or something. I mean, can we do anything? Anyhow, whatever. I mean, they crash four-wheelers out there. There's a lot of memories. So last night was really more of the showdown. Now, do you all think we really learned any new information about Coyote Pass? Hell no. Okay, hell no. This show is masterful of giving you 40 minutes of a lot of word salad and a lot of video salad. Nothing new that we haven't learned. So we opened last night with Janelle and Meri reconnecting. There's been much said of this. And we do know that Meri and Janelle continue to talk because recently on Going Rogue podcast, or I think it's Rogue Energy podcast, which used to be Rachel Levis's podcast, Janelle and Christine recently interviewed one another, and there's still unfinished business with Janelle. Now, there is an article out there that alleges that Janelle settled with Robyn and Cody for $340,000 for Coyote Pass in 2023. But then people are jumping in and saying that's actually conflicting, and the $340,000 was just finalizing the overall sale and deed to the Brown family from the previous owner, and that had to do with Janelle's section. Okay, but we do hear from Janelle and Meri that there's going to be some major updates and revelations, and they better come through, because last night was a little bit much to do with the same. We already had known by last night's episode that the women had lawyered up, but they confirmed it. Janelle tells us that she is getting a lawyer because nothing has happened. Janelle wants to sell. Meri wants to sell. She's going to need a lawyer. Janelle doesn't know why the land is parceled the way it is. So producers, they kind of feed her that question. She's not sure how it was, except for, of course, Cody being the patriarch was on every single plot. And she wants to get rid of it because she wants to close that chapter of her life. For her, and it sounds like for Meri, and Meri is like, Meri ain't even talking about the family. Meri's just like, I'm one woman now, one mission. All right, I ain't your family, Janelle. I ain't that old family. I don't think aside from Leon, I don't think Meri may be a little in contact with Robyn and Cody's kids, but she's starting her new life. So then we pop over. So we know that Janelle and Meri are going to team up, have this Zoom, and discuss last night their plans for what they're going to do with Coyote Pass, which, by the way, they don't even really reveal. Christine and David continue to show us a little bit more of their marriage, which is exactly what you think it is, where David supports this woman. He is really giving this woman her dream of owning a second business, owning a business, being a boss on her own, and having multiple revenue streams, which is something she feels that the Brown family never did successfully when she was there. So they're going to go check out their short-term Airbnb rental. I love it. They get in the U-Haul. they're talking about what the way that they want to design the house. They're having this whole conversation about doing a shrimp room where David, I believe, it's very unclear. Does David want the whole decor to be shrimp? Are we what the he saw this in a movie. Now, this is the only time I've questioned David Woolley's intelligence. I mean, clearly the man is bright. He owns a drywalling company, has for like 40 years. But this man wants a room designed like, is it shrimp color? Are we getting a dresser in the form of a shrimp? Like, what is going on? And are we doing like shrimp head on, shrimp head off? Like, what? Excuse me? And of course, they're having a full on life conversation in the U-Haul without any microphones. Jacked up mic, okay? Come on, TLC. We're out of the pandemic. Mic these bitches up. David wants a shrimp room, for real. And Christine wants a giraffe room. Are they joking? Were they for real? I think that they are for real. And I think that the motif is more the pattern and the color, I think is what I gathered from this episode. But did anyone else find that weird? Odd obsession. And their Vegas move, they reflect upon that. The entire family reflects on the Vegas move because Christine is comparing her life now and how it's unfolding with such ease compared to when they went to Vegas. Do you ever believe that? I feel like I know people always say you should never move somewhere. Don't just move somewhere on a whim because all your old problems, if you don't get your mental health and your mental house in order, all the same ish will follow you. But I'm such a believer, like you have to go to a city and you have to feel it. And you got to follow the signs. Like when we moved to LA, every single month, like life just got better. It unfolded with such ease. Now, when we did first arrive here, we all got COVID within 24 hours of landing. But I actually didn't see that as a sign. Anyhow, the Brown family, on their way to move to Vegas, everybody got a flat tire. And Christine is like, if that wasn't a sign from God for us to pump the brakes and go somewhere else, I don't know what is. And then we go to Kody and Robyn's kids. They are going to paint Grandpa Paul's picnic tables. And don't you love how throughout these scenes, Kody calls Robyn Ma? He's like, Ma, get that tablecloth over there, Ma. Well, he doesn't say that. He goes, get that picnic table on its side, Ma. Anyhow, I love that he refers to her as Ma. And, they talk about, of course, we find out, and I think people that have followed the show for a long time know this, that Robyn's family also follow polygamy. And her dad, her father, Paul, we know Robyn's biological dad was not in the picture, kind of a deadbeat, never saw her, all the same issues that essentially Christine is accusing Kody of with Truly. Pot, meat, kettle. So Robyn's biological dad out of the picture. And then we find out that Robyn's mom had a best friend. And that best friend was married to a guy named Paul. And somewhere along the way, they thought, why not that Robyn's mom could marry Paul? And she does. They polygamous, all right? And that's where Grandpa Paul came into play. And Grandpa Paul will tell stories to Kody that he wouldn't tell to anyone else. Really? That narcissist got you to open up? That says everything we need to know. Oh my God. And they have super fond memories of Grandpa Paul, who built the picnic tables and they painted the picnic tables. Paul was a polygamist, baby. They all super into that polygamy. Not anymore, though. These brown kids want to break that cycle. They are not into it. Ari's a hot mess. Their child, Kody and Robyn's. Ari is like running all over hell, getting paint everywhere. I mean, can we let this queen paint the town? Let her throw some paint. Let her get going. Then we pop over to Maddie and Janelle. And Janelle's like, I'm hopping on my Zoom with Meri. Maddie's like, get it. So Meri and Janelle are on the Zoom. And they've known each other for years. And Meri's like, look, we've been through it together. We've had good times. We've had bad. I've known this girl. We've gotten down, like not together, but you know what I'm saying. We are besties from back in the day, from before the Kody days. That's how long they've known each other because obviously Janelle was married to Meri's brother. Hello. This is when I love the fun, like incest line. So Meri's like, I can be cool. I can be civil with Janelle. I've known her for a long time. And Meri and Janelle are basically trying to figure out what could Kody and Robyn's motives and plans be. They've gone silent. They've pulled back. And Meri says, which this was very, Again, I don't know why producers don't force them to reveal these moments, but Meri says, I've got a plan. I know Janelle got her plan. I know Robyn and Cody, they have their plan. But everybody is sort of lawyering up and not revealing what their plans are. They don't share them. So, but I love it. I like seeing Meri and Janelle on the same page. They're kind of laughing in these moments on the Zoom. They're getting along. And Meri goes on into talking about how their teams and they're not like legal agreements in the sense of, how everything was laid out. Like they don't have signed agreements on Coyote Pass. They basically have this pool of money that they all paid into, and Meri and Janelle are determined to get theirs. And Cody jumps in and he's like, "Oh, I paid for my plot with Robyn. Okay? 92% of it anyway." It's like, how do you know exactly what you paid? I think all those women contributed. And by the way, have sacrificed and put their lives on TV. But he already setting himself up like, I'm not going to screw them. But by the way, I paid for my entire own plot. Except for, I mean, there's probably an outstanding 8% I didn't. And again, this is where I get this show like lost me a little bit halfway through last night. For the 100th time, we explain about the division. Meri feels like for the last decade of her life, she's really not been in control. There really was no rhyme or reason exactly to the land division, except for Meri has let us know that Cody over the years has insinuated the plots have been divided up based on how many children you had. And Meri got less because Meri only has Leon. Very repetitive as far as I am concerned. Kody and Robyn, going into this season, were ready to get rid of Coyote Pass. They were as of episode 18, but we learned last night, of course, they're having second thoughts and they want to keep it. I think that I don't know with what money, because a lot of people feel like they are leveraged, but I do believe that we're getting a buyout for at least Janelle and maybe Robyn. Cody's like, look, I don't care what's done with it. Ladies, you could do the footwork. Help yourself. It's like, really? You are so controlling. And here you are last night telling us to the camera, hey, Janelle, Meri, they could do the legwork. They could do the footwork. They just don't want to do that to get rid of Coyote Pass. They don't? I think they'd prefer to do that versus lawyering up. This man talks out of both sides. And Meri's determined to get her money out. That's what she tells us last night. We pop back to Christine. Christine is thrilled that the property in Moab is in her name and in David's, which is something that obviously they all had to fight with Cody over the years, businesses as well. David loves the property. He walks into the Airbnb. Last I checked, the Airbnb is still available. You can rent it in Moab. But if you want to view it and you want to make a reservation, I think you've had at least 3 bookings on Airbnb. And Christine says she never realized that she could do business on her own. She never realized how much she would enjoy it. They're going to have their shrimp room. Again, like, can anyone answer me what that is? Boom, we go back to Brianna. Brianna wants to learn how to chop wood on that Coyote Pass. Oh, Lord God. What is it with Cody and trees? Do you think it's symbolic of his tiny peepee? Like, hear me out, Like Cody got wood, the whole, the innuendo. They always got him chopping down a tree and messing it up. I mean, really? Are they really kind of subtly trying to tell us, like, look, this guy a dick and he can't keep it hard in any aspect of his life, meaning like he can't really get it together? I'm just saying. Crazy analogy, all right? So he's like, all right, Brianna, I'm going to show you how to chop a piece of wood. And then he gets over and goes, 2 hands here and then leverage. And then she's like, this thing weighs so much. We got to get in there. I mean, she doesn't even chop like 2 pieces of wood, and they make it last night. Like, we created these unbelievable memories today at Coyote Pass. Brianna chopped wood like that. Okay. Robyn admits that she loves Coyote Pass. And this is kind of the thing that this scene is the scene that got a lot of attention going into last night's episode, which was that Cody and Robyn really are not synced up in their feelings for Coyote Pass. Because up until last night, Cody also wants out of Coyote Pass. Doesn't believe that they have the money. And Robyn says, well, we have the money, but then we won't have money to do other things. hence the $2.1 million home they bought. So Robyn loves Coyote Pass and wants to keep it. Kody is out. But of course, we see last night as the family is there and just, I mean, such a slap in the face, I feel like, to Kody's other children of how much of a family unit Robyn and their kids all seem like and how much he enjoys it. And there's no other children in sight for him. Hello. Like last night, what an obvious sign that you should have just had 5 kids, would have been plenty. Anyhow, and Kody talks about wanting to build a home on it. They could build a home there. The view is spectacular. And it was the thing that they're wrestling with is this Coyote Pass, this piece of property with this beautiful view is the last place that the whole family was there all together. Then we pop back to Janelle. Janelle out there in Utah visiting David and Christine. And we get this whole knocking scene, which, by the way, I'm sorry. I actually side with Robyn and Meri on this one. Do you ever walk into someone's house, like your relative's house unannounced? I never do. Is this like a New England thing? Maybe I'm an old staunch New Englander. But I never walk into anyone's room, bedroom, siblings' room without a little. All right. Well, Janelle walks right into Christine's house and she's like, oh, sorry, didn't knock. And they're like, yeah, remember those days when we didn't have to knock until Robyn came into the scene? And Robyn's like, yes, it startles me immensely when I just look around my house and all of a sudden someone's in the living room. Yeah, I agree. She's like, give a little knock. I implemented that rule. Sorry, I didn't think that was such a big rule, but anyhow. And then Meri's like, yeah, me too. Okay, I'm with him on that. Sorry, because Meri's like, what if I'm walking around buck-ass naked? What if I'm getting down with a hot guy that's trying to hook up with a reality star? Yeah, Meri. Meri's like, you ass better knock. So I couldn't agree more, but it is move-in day for their Moab Airbnb. So Christine's got the kids out there, Aspen and Mitch and Peyton, and, you know, they're working on the shrimp room. They're working on the giraffe room. The families are happy. And one of the things which I thought for all of us that are longtime followers is Christine really talks about how included David makes her feel. And I love I love everything about this relationship for Christine, everything. Because you can see over the years how she just became less and less connected with Kody. Kody contradicted her every step of the way. It must feel so good on a whole nother level for her to have somebody like David who is just such a ride or die for her. And Kody didn't want, he didn't want, she talks about how when they had the sister wives clothing, the closet, the clothing store, like Kody had input on everything. Everything. And like Christine never felt empowered. He said, Christine would make a suggestion and he'd be like, I don't want these cheap t-shirts dumbing down and cheapening down our brand and our website. Okay. Which the irony is, right, is now Meri and Janelle like constantly are coming out with t-shirts about his stupid sayings or like lack of empathy. It's so great. But he was all about taking control of their clothing business. And Christine really brings back, and what a dig, what a knife in the kidneys, baby. When she goes, you know what? The moment I found my independence was actually when Isabel had surgery and Kody never showed up. And that was the moment I realized that my daughter needed a dad and I didn't need Kody. Oh. So we kind of get these digs in at Kody. I love it. I mean, if it isn't clear that production ain't really into him, I don't know what could be clearer. So then Janelle says that they come back to this conflict that is brewing with Coyote Pass and who paid what and how the family money worked, which essentially was it all went into a pot. Kody dictated where the money went, and Janelle was just simply the bookkeeper, but really made no decisions, right? Which is kind of something that we're all learning, and Meri is discovering. Like, a lot of the family members thought Janelle had a lot more say, but no, Kody was willy-nilly doing what he wanted. And as Janelle reveals last night, that in the past couple of years, that money went out the door even quicker to even bigger things that she didn't know about, which I think is essentially the artwork that they have in that home. What? Them damn bears that are embracing on the countertop. Robyn's Christmas decorations, the Swarovski crystal plates and things that people find, the David Yurman jewelry. And Janelle and Meri and Christine, they weren't getting any of that. How'd you all feel, though, about the scene where Christine tells them? I mean, okay, so the women promised us in the fall. Are you guys feeling good about the fact that the show is getting caught up to real time? Because we know the whole Teda Farms situation didn't come about until just about a year ago. March, it was finalized. April, May. That's when we were learning of Teda Farms. So the show is becoming much more current. Are you feeling that? Are you liking that? Or is the show still so kind of vague and filled with throwbacks, it's hard to even tell that we're more caught up? We're in 2024, babes. We're in 2020. I mean, season 20 could be gangbusters. The end of this season could be amazing. And like I've said, wait and see, but my sources say we are getting a Garrison Brown special. So Christine completely winning at this entire divorce. We're in real time, and I loved the scene where Janelle told Christine and David that they're going to name it Teda Farms. And David, you could tell, wants to rip her. He's like, Teda. He doesn't get it at all. Teda, where'd you come up with that? And she's like, well, we're also going to do Tater, because people are going to refer to it as Tater Tot, Tater Farms. Actually, Teda, I thought more Tada. Did anyone else? Like, Tater didn't really pop in my mind. The only way I remember the name of the flower business is like Tada Farms. Which, by the way, isn't that what... I think that's a better name for a flower farm myself. Teda is named after a type of tree. Okay. But I thought, like, ta-da, here are the flowers. That would have been more impactful, but apparently you all are Googling Tater Farms. Christine is winning post-divorce. She is winning. Her man is here for her. And then we're back to Coyote Pass, and this is kind of the final couple of scenes and discussion. And Kody and Robyn are talking about how it would work if it were possible that they could buy out Janelle and Meri. And Kody talks about if they could afford to buy out 25% and 25%. And Kody and Robyn are like, we just love all the memories here. And Cody's like, this is how I love Kody, the simplicity of Kody. He's like, you know what my intention is? My intention is not to sell. My intention is to really not deal with this. Like, the guy couldn't be more disinterested in these other women and other wives, which I also thought was sad last night in the scenes at Coyote Pass, how into his family he really is. And yes, the rest of those kids are his family, but I mean, it felt last night like his family unit is really with Robyn and their 5 kids. Just saying. So they love all the memories, and Aurora and Brianna, Cody starts to ask them, they start having this family conversation. And Cody asks Aurora and Brianna, hey, you know what? I've never asked you two girls. You guys want kids? And they're like, yeah, we want kids. Yeah. And Aurora says, and somehow they get on the question of what's a normal family? Like, what's a normal number of kids? Because none of these kids are living polygamy. Aurora and Brianna are like, we don't want to like crap all over polygamy. And Cody's like, go ahead. I'm over it too. But they're like, we would never live polygamy. And a normal family should only have 3 to 5 children. And then Cody's like, well, in my mind, it's 6, I mean, actually, it's like 2.5. And that includes mom and dad. Okay. Again, why wouldn't you, I don't know, this man every step of the way, wouldn't you say 18 is right for me? Even though clearly we know it's not. All right. Clearly, this man has forgotten about 13 of them. But, does anyone stop this guy and go, you should say that the number is like the right number for what you can handle. And in my case, it was 18. Like, of course, we would have laughed at him. But at least we would have said, all right, he's included his other kids. He's like, in fact, he's ready to eliminate 3 of his own. He's like, you know what? 2.5. Perfect. And so the girls essentially say, like, polygamy sucks. They're not interested. And they talk about, wanting to have children as they grow older and how Robyn's a great mom, which I believe everybody kind of stands by that to to her kids, great mother. Some of the other kids have said McKelty obviously has seen her like a mother. We know they've had a falling out due to something that happened at Garrison's funeral, which I'm sure we probably won't find out because obviously very personal. And then now we see at the end of this episode, this reflection by Cody to keep the property because, and don't you love his what he can't come up with really. I mean, he can. All the memories they have there all together as a family. But he goes, we had a perfect day today, Brianna learned to chop wood. I mean, she could hardly lift this axe up to her elbow. Okay. And, Saul skipped rocks. Really? That's all? That's all you can come up with? And we painted a picnic table. Hallelujah. Okay. I mean, I get it. That's what a family is, right? It's the small moments. But it was just so funny when he was searching for, there's so many memories here. And you're thinking, oh, someone's birthday here, or they all did a sleepover under the stars. And, someone got lost and almost eaten by a bear. Some really good family stories. And he's like, Saul skipped a rock today. Unbelievable set of memories. This man knows no brain cells, all right? None, which is why we love this show. All right, and then we preview next week. Okay, next week is Janelle's big move. She is leaving her sister wives and the West behind as she is heading to North Carolina to officially move for good, to start her life with Tadoff Farms, and Christine and David are driving with her and helping her. Aurora comes to Kody and Robyn. They ain't happy. And Aurora goes, I have found the Lord. I am living the Lordeth life, and I want to be baptized. And Robyn's like, Robyn's mouth, it goes down real quick. She's like, oh, baptism. That's a big move. Baptism, big, huge. Huge. And, Meri's still looking for a man. All right. That one, I was like, oh, okay. Also, I've been excited for Meri to date, but we better see some actual men on the screen, is all I'm saying. Because every episode now we're getting Meri horned up, Meri ready to see a man. But where is the man? That's what I want to know. So next week's episode looks didn't look like they had much to tease, but sometimes they surprise you on Sister Wives. You never know. You never know. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Brand new pop culture podcast episodes every single day. We have a lot of Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively updates. And a new theory has emerged, which I'm going to get into later this week, that Colleen Hoover, who's the author of It Ends With Us, actually deleted her Instagram to help protect Blake Lively. Why Candace Owens is declaring, and many other experts, that Ryan Reynolds will never get a gag order in this case. And even Justin Baldoni's mother, his wife, speaking out. The strategy continues. And also, are Ryan and Blake getting near dropping this lawsuit or pulling back, or are we just getting started? So we have a lot to cover, and then any breaking Sister Wives news that happens over the week. Okay, bye, everybody.